Alright, not sure entirely what the plan is for tonight, mostly because I am tired as hell after the storms that rolled through last night, so we'll see how much energy I actually have to do stuff. I'm looking over my gear right now, seeing if there's anything I really need to get for this guy, because I've got 8,900 embers. What's up, Poteen? How's it going, man? So before I do almost anything else, I've got to figure out where to spend some embers and whether it's going to be on a piece for the champ or if it's going to be for somebody else. So I'm just kind of looking over my gear right now, seeing what I can potentially mildly upgrade. So I could possibly get another set of legs, or I could also just end up taking the essences out of this embers gear and putting them into this pristine keen gear. So if I strip the essences out of where are those legs? Okay, so that makes these now even with each other because they don't have any essences in either piece. So the reinforced greaves are what I'm wearing right now, which gives me 221.4 crit, 182.4 physical mastery. So if I switch to keen, I gain a little bit of physical mastery and lose a little bit of crit. It's almost a wash between those two. So the question then is going to be, what does that do to my mitts? Because I am shifting around where I have might and fate. So 100.4 and 61.1, 100.3, 61.3. Again, basically a wash. So between these, it's functionally dead even. The only difference is the reinforced greaves, 231.9, 231.4 with the pristine keen. Yeah, so the vitality is going to win out. So pristine keen, just going to get edged out there because I don't need the fate. So those are going to get stashed, and I can probably use them on my captain. But I still have at least one box Yeah, I think really the only pieces of gear I have left to truly replace at this point are shoes and pants are both 510. So both of those I can just do a across the board small upgrade on and just pick up a little bit of stats. So that is likely what I'm going to do. Because again, we're getting way into diminishing returns on this one.
There is much to be done.
But all of these are also things that I can basically do as hand-me-downs to another heavy armor character. So I will pull out a set of reinforced greaves. So that's going to be just basically like a 3-item level upgrade, unless I roll good. Nope, still 513. And the boots. Yeah, unfortunately I got both of them 513, so not so hot on the RNG there. Okay, where's the boots? They're in here. Okay, the boots are in here someplace, which means I just looked right past them, didn't I? Ah, there they are. Alright, so both of these old ones can now go into shared storage. The level 510 pieces. And those can get handed down to the captain or the guardian, or both. They can fight over them. And put the essences that I ripped back into the new pieces of gear. And most importantly, that at least let me spend some embers to get back below cap before I do anything else. All right, now I can actually go and see what needs killing. So I am running really low on any kind of dailies or weeklies on this guy right now. Which means this also might be one where I bounce off of the champ quickly and go to somebody else. Okay, so Fortunes is also still on cooldown, so I can't do that one. And I don't have any of the delving quests done. Or not done, rather.
What news has come in with the day?
So to warm up a little bit, I will knock out a couple of delvings just to see if I get anything good, and also to get some more writs back, because I just spent a bunch of writs the other day. So it is time to start building those back up. And also get a chance to take a look to see what the malices are today. Let's see. So we have debilitating miasma. So basically just more time I spend next to the mobs, the more I'll get debuffed. Clutch of flies, which means that they're going to put a damage over time on me that I need to cleanse before it erupts. And Sauron's touch, which means that these guys are going to buff each other. All in all, could be worse. And this is also where I really wish that champions had a better self-cleanse than Fear Nothing. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the secondary effect of Fear Nothing. The benefit it has of the incoming healing is really nice. But at the same time, it doesn't have the multiple pulses like the Runekeeper's does. It doesn't clear more than one condition like some do. It is very bare bones. Wow, that was a nice little bit of lag on getting Clobber off. So now I have a whirlwind that I have to basically sit and dodge away from. Because the game decided to lag and not let me get skills off. I mean, honestly, I could go for coconut right about now. That sounds really tasty. So I'm kind of okay with that. These could also be like date palms. I would be totally fine with fresh dates. And again, I really, really wish that at some point in time, somebody at Standing Stone figured out just bare bones collision intelligence for their large enemies so that they don't, all these large model enemies like this would stop just running right up to you and standing functionally in you as their default behavior. None of these things grasp the concept of personal space. Okay, big tree coming out here shortly. And big tree is dead. So not bad. Yeah, today's Malice is definitely not on the worst side. I don't really like the buffing one that they have because that makes packs of mobs really annoying. But I can work around that. And it's a Beorning named Yogi. You just have to give a hat tip for that.
Do you have need of some?
Well played. Delving chest, nothing good aside from some crafting mats, but that's not bad because I will use those.
Has come in with the tide.
What is the feature? Nope. Featured instance is Hopeful Endil, so we are definitely not doing that. Again, the instances out there getting put into the featured instance rotation gives some weeks where even when people want to do featured instances, between that and Glingant, there's just that big dead spot where nobody's going to be doing stuff. It's a little bit unfair that I got Horn of Gondor off and they still both dropped their AoEs while they were in the process of getting stunned. I know that the game wouldn't let me do that if I were them, but what can you do? And just the big guy left. No Sauron's Grasp for you. But again, you try and turn to any kind of position where the mob isn't functionally standing with you inside them. And these large enemies are just like, nope, nope, we're not having that. You are going to be in me.
Do you have need of something? Might you spare a moment?
Right, this delving chest got flickering essence box, not bad, especially considering that I just burned a few of those not long ago, redoing some gear. Getting the stash back up, always good. And okay, yeah, so I spent my delving writs all the way down from being basically at the 5,000 cap to 750. So it's a good thing to build a few more up. Right, looks like there is not currently dungeoning afoot. LFF chat is dead. I'm gonna pop in and do just a quick solo arena, mostly because I'm curious what the mini bosses are today. so that if I see people putting together a group, might get some indication of of what an actual 6-man would look like, and if it's a good day or a bad day.
Keeper of the Tor Garden, and loyal servant to the people of Umbar. On this auspicious occasion, you have the honor to test your strength, meet justice upon the condemned, and earn the adulation.
But first, I have to wait through all the talking. Alright, send me your waves of mooks. I will cut them down after they stun me. I can do that too. And I also hit a lot harder than you guys do. I do kind of wonder sometimes if it might not be a good idea to just give intelligent NPCs like this the option to say, nah, you know what, we're good. Because these guys are in an absolute no-win fight here. Like, they know this. Alright, first mini-boss of the day is... Alright, I think we determined that this guy's a mariner, even though he fights with blunt weapons, because it does seem like he has mariner abilities in the 6-man. At least we're pretty sure that's where those come from. So he's one. And some of his stuff, frankly, is annoying if you get it on the higher tiers. And that was a completely mistimed horn. So just like outright fail. Let's see who the second mini-boss is. And if it's two annoying mini-bosses, that I know it's not going to be a good arena day. Ooh, the Lore Master. Who's not bad if you can burn, but just like AoE damage in the group versions on that one can be rough. So this might not be a great combo if people are doing arena runs today. But now I know. And yeah, just a couple of ember fodder items here. Hey, Missany, how is it going? I am just cruising around seeing if any dungeons actually come up. Doesn't seem like a whole lot is happening yet, and I'm trying to decide if I want to actually start spamming LFF chat and put something together, or if tonight is just not going to be one of those nights where I feel like herding cats. Last night was one of those fun massive storm tornado warnings coming through the area, so not a ton of sleep because it was pretty windy and shaky, and power kept going off and on. So let's see, do I have anything useful left to do? Yeah, unless I actually want to do like quest stuff. That is just bad. Yeah, nothing actually hit around here, so the worst that I had was just like really loud, like shaking everything, thunder, power flickering on and off, but I don't think anything actually fried itself in here, at least nothing that I've noticed so far. Definitely some people in the area still without power. Some of the people I work with are supposed to be without power through potentially end of Wednesday. Oh man, Andrath doesn't even have good missions today because it's the Karanost missions. Oof. Yeah, so it wasn't anything bad here, thankfully, but it was just like, okay, yeah, not great for sleep. So I'm going to take one last look and just see. All right, looks like Werewolf and Louis are, I think, in a group questing through Central Anphilis, or maybe Deeding. So yeah, there's kind of nobody from Kin on right now who'd be running stuff. So I'm gonna take a little bit of look-see in LFF chat and see if folks are down to run stuff, and if not, then I'll probably flip over to one of my alts and see what I've got to run on them. But I wanted to at least get the champion some run time today. Okay, so bait thrown out into looking for fellowship chat. We'll see if anybody's putting runs together or if this is more or less a dead evening for that. I notice a lot of times, unless I actually am the one putting stuff together, it's very rare that I get in on more the occasional run. I wonder, do I still have King's Gondor deeds to do? Let's see. Eastern King's Gondor. Okay, so apparently I've got those done. I got some exploration deeds, which I kind of hate doing. Unless I just happen to be running through the area, because it's a whole bunch of hide and seek. Do have Western Gondor Corsair Slayer, which I can pop out there and finish that one off. Because what I'm trying to do on this character is make progress on the deeds that I don't have equipped, because fun thing that a lot of people overlook is each deed, like if we look at confidence, for example, each deed has all the stuff it gives you when you have it actually equipped. So in the case of confidence, that's the crit, finesse, and evade. But they also have passive bonuses that you get just by having the deed leveled up, even not being equipped. So Zeal, for example, even if I didn't have Zeal slotted into my build, it gives me 722 physical mastery just by the fact that I have it at level 90. So determination, I'm still leveling up. Its passive right now is only 114 physical mastery. So all of these deeds, even if they're ones that don't work with your build or your class at all, are still worth leveling up to get all of these passive bonuses because they add up. Like loyalty at max rank, even though I don't have loyalty slotted right now, the passive just gives me an extra 950 morale, so almost 1,000 from one virtue that's not in this build. Let's see what travel points I have out in Western King's Gondor and what other Slayer deeds I have out there. So I've got Corsair Slayer of Western King's Gondor, Dead Slayer of Western King's Gondor. Okay, I've got several that I can get back out there and get a bunch of Virtue XP for. So gonna find myself a Slayer Deed Accelerator. Because I usually have more than a few of those hanging around. And there we go. Oh, actually, no. That one here is single stack. Let's see what I have out in Western. If you play on Landreval, absolutely. So most of the time, I am on this character here. My champ is not illogical. And probably the second character I run is my Runekeeper, Harrowhark. What do I have that is... Okay, so... I can get most places from Pelargir. But yeah, if you happen to play on Landreval, I'm pretty much always available to bring either a sword or runestones in to do stuff. Okay, so from here, I should be able to get to... That's Outer Gondor. Blackroot Vale should be... I think this is what counts as Western King's Gondor. Yeah, that should be all the Blackroot Vale area. So... where are any... Nice. So, what level are the characters you guys mostly have? Because I will readily admit, I do not know the new raid at all. I know the 3-mans and the 6-man pretty well. but I have not popped into the raid yet. I wonder if I can get to Morlad from here.
Greetings,
Do you have
friend.
Morlad? You don't have Morlad. Man. Okay, so I might have to go to... It's going to make me go all the way up. Londkirion, that might be where I need to go. Trying to think of what'll get me into Blackroot Vale from here. So 98, let's see, what raids would be around 98? I'll pull up the Lotro wiki while I'm writing. And I'm trying to, yeah, if you're around 98, I have a captain who is 100 or 101. I think he's still 100. That might be a good one if you guys are running around 98 and need somebody around around that level. Let's see, raids. Okay, so taking out the what raid? Oh, yeah, there could be all sorts of stuff around around there. Because there's a lot of stuff that starts in the 65 plus that it does scale. There's the Helagrod, which technically is a raid, but honestly you can I know a lot of Helagrod you can actually 6-man. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. So I will also, like, I am very much one of the first people to say I know the newer group content fairly well, the stuff that's come out in the last year to year and a half. A lot of the stuff before that, I have either not run or not run very much. Because while I know the game relatively well, because I've played for, many years and way too much, up until the last year or so, I've primarily just, played and leveled solo.
Have you come to help?
So, a lot of the older stuff, especially, there's a lot that I do not know particularly well. Man, this is just not... I'm just going to have to go to Dol Amroth and get the Morlad from there. That's just going to be really... I am going completely the long way around. But from here, I should be able to ride into... You know what? This might actually be... I'm going to pop down here real quick and see if the Corsairs out here count as Western King's Gondor. So usually Mondays and Tuesdays are when I'm playing here. And so that would be potential, but they're also days when... Oh, okay, perfect. These guys count as Western King's Gondor. I do also sometimes run our 3 and 6 mans on Mondays and Tuesdays. Wednesday is probably the easiest kind of general free day for me. Okay, so not a whole lot of these guys, but I know where there's a good flock of Corsairs around here. Because Wednesdays I don't have a regular stream or a regular like kin night or other game night. Other than that, it would be potentially a little bit sporadic. I'm going to ignore that guy because right up the road here, this camp is completely overrun with Corsairs, so I should be able to get a whole bunch of this Corsair Slayer deed just knocked out in there. Just gonna swing the idiot pony nice and wide here. It is tempting to stop and kill Corsairs along the way, but it's just going to be quicker overall if I ignore all these 1 and 2s and just go into the camp where there's a whole pack of them all concentrated together. So right up the road here is where you can get to Abadek's Watch. And there'll be a quest that'll send you up here while you're coming through King's Gondor. But it's also where you can just find an absolute ton of these Corsair folks. And they're also green because these guys are all level like 142, 143. So it is kind of ridiculously easy just to walk around slaughtering them all. Which is kind of like cheating. But they're Corsairs, so, you know. We're supposed to not like them. Because they're the bad guys. Yeah, and unfortunately, LFF chat is still completely silent tonight. No bites or responses, so it's probably looking like it's not going to be a dungeoning night unless we get some people who hop on and want to run something. And I'm not sure that I want to do that tonight also, because if we have our crew log on to run like one of the 3-man at a higher tier, I will probably be called on to tank that, and I'm a little tired to be tanking a tier 4 or tier 5. Alright, so just another handful of these guys, and I'll have all of the Advanced Corsair Slayer deed finished. I was actually kind of hoping there were some inside the big tent there. Okay, I think I have got all these guys. So there's another little pack over here. And there might just be enough of these guys in the rest of this camp area up here to finish the deed, which would be really nice. I think after this, I'm going to look to find a deed, another deed if I can, that's passive bonus is a morale increase, so I can just keep pumping up that morale pool without having to keep slotting vitality as well. Because free morale is free morale. Okay, that's the last of my snipers, so that got my determination up from 56 to 57, which, again, not huge for a jump on the passive right there, but it's 6 extra mastery, basically for nothing, that you don't even have to slot the virtue in to get. So let's see. Ideally, I always like to try and find a virtue that I might look at actually potentially using as well as just leveling up passively. But I've kind of done a lot of those. Tactical mastery, will, and crit rating. Yeah, I definitely won't be using that anytime soon. So probably, actually, yeah, innocence, because I could potentially see myself maybe in a weird build using innocence because of the it has both mitts in it. But I should be able to pick up some free, easy morale from leveling this one up. So I need insects, spiders, dead, and wolves. And I know where several of those things are in here. And unfortunately, I looked away and missed somebody putting together a Streets Tier 4 run, but they were primarily looking for a healer, even though they said they'll take anybody. So if I'd been paying a little bit more attention, I could have gotten into a Streets Tier 4 run. Oh well. I don't think there's a Wormslayer deed out here. Nope. But if I head back into the Blackroot Vale area, I should be able to find a whole host of baddies to kill. I do sometimes forget that on this character, I did not quest through the King's Gondor area. I really just did the epic story through this area and didn't do like side quests or kill quests or anything like that. So I do have a whole bunch of these all available. All right, let's see if I can get down here without absolutely killing myself. Wham. Right, could have been worse. So from town here, I should be able to catch a ride. And if I can get to Morlad, yeah, luckily I was able to do the trick where you kind of skate down the cliffside. Lotro doesn't handle physics perfectly. So there's a trick you can do where, like, when you are jumping down high cliffs like this, if you make sure that your character basically is getting their feet landing on landing on the slope as you go down periodically, like making contact with it, a lot of the times the game will register that as you stopping falling for a second. And so as long as you have places where you can kind of make contact with the sides of things as you're going down, you can jump down much higher areas than you should be able to. You can kind of cheat the system.
You're most welcome, my friend.
All right, good. You can take me to Morlad. And Morlad is awesome because Morlad will let me ride right up to the outside of the Pass of the Dead. What time is it in game right now? It is... Well, where's my game time? It is 7:48. Yeah, it's morning. Okay. So it's a funny little thing with the area out here in and this is the Stone of Eric. Is up on this hill here. In the evening, in game time, because this is one of the zones that isn't a fixed time, it does have a day-night cycle. In the evening, there will be undead. There will be the Oathbreakers. Will all be out and around the mountain. But when it's daytime in game, they go away. So if you're looking for anything that requires you to kill Oathbreakers or undead, if it's evening in game, you can get them all around the hill that's got that big round rock on top. But if not, you have to go up the path here and head to the outside of the Pass of the Dead. So I just didn't have good timing on this one, so I'm going to come up here. And this is also why I'm using a deed accelerator, so that each enemy I kill counts for 2 towards the deed itself. I do have a fair few of these built up and stashed from over the years. One of the benefits of having played for a long time and being an absolute pack rat. I love how that one archer is all the way off on the other side of the river, all by himself. Come on, man. All your friends are over here on this side of the river. What are you doing over here? I also just really like this area because I have really good memories of the Helm's Deep expansion when that was kind of the current content, and then coming out of the Helm's Deep area through the Pass of the Dead here, back out into into the early stages of Gondor was just so cool back in the day. So coming back here in the 140 plus, even though it lasted way too long in the expansion content, is still a definite plus just because it's nostalgia. So actually, I wonder. I don't think I can go into... Yeah. In the King's Gondor version of this, you cannot go through that door into the Pass of the Dead. I didn't think so, because they didn't make a level 140 version of Pass of the Dead. So they just sort of close that door off and don't let you use it. Okay, so that got me basically 45 kills worth of progress towards that Slayer deed. Don't think there's another good concentration of these guys. So I'm going to pretty much just wait for them to respawn here. Shouldn't take that long because they're also part of a quest, and usually mobs that are for a quest have a nice high respawn rate. Yep, so we're already getting the first one here respawned. Yeah, these guys are all repopping. Excellent. The door isn't respawned yet, but this hunter all off by himself is back again. Looks like I may be tanking a tier 3 streets. We'll see if that, we'll see if piracy found a person or not. I know a lot of people, when they get a tell from a champion saying that they can tank, go a little bit weird. Alright, excellent. So, I'm going to just finish up that kill here. And so I got most of the progress done on this deed. Okay, let's see. And now we start the entankening. Okay, do I have a gear set saved for tank that is actually... Okay, yep, that's decent. And the other question here is, am I missing anything in this set? Okay, definitely I need to update this set because it doesn't have my sturdy earrings in it. Okay, now I need to at least halfway pay attention.
All the way to Umbar. Indigir, now known as Kasha, has been transporting a draft of the virus make. We now grab
Let's see, both tanking rings are good. I'm going to assume that everything else is fine.
Kasha must be stopped now.
Alas, I make for the seashore. I will let my friend here roll out the red carpet.
Looks like we've got a
Umbar.
RK healer. Where is my... There we go. Alright, this is where I do the halfway paying attention thing. Oh yeah, that's right. Piracy is a mariner. I am not used to running with a mariner. So I will have to give him some melee space considerations. But he's actually taking these guys nicely, which is good. Oh, really? Right into the fire. Oh, and the RK is wormed, and I don't think they have... Yeah, I'm wondering if the arcade just doesn't have potions on them.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Gonna try and give. Well, I was hoping that the Mariner would interrupt, but nah, Cass, this is just a T3 pug. Ah, yep. Somebody who's not interrupting the sniper. But again, just T3. Be nice if we could drop combat and I could change specs, but I don't think that's going to happen. Alright, this RK is getting way the hell too up close and personal with this guy, which I am not all for. But, you know, again, it's just T3. That's why you don't stand there, man. Oh. Yep. Champ tank. Waiting for these guys to come walk back through the fire here. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Mariner does wicked damage. This dude is actually pretty well melting these mobs to a large extent. I wish I was not... There we go. Unfortunately, I was trying to give the guy room to move, but I got rooted. Ah, the knockout. And of course the sniper is going to want the healer. I'm almost thinking I should have slotted more DPS gear for this just to absolutely blitz it. Okay, looks like the lookout. Got wormed, which means the lookout got there. Well, we just basically brute forced that one, which was kind of hilarious. Right, come on, guys. Into the pool. Into the pool.
Get with you from the beginning.
Okay. Why is the Runekeeper here in melee range? Is what I'm really trying to figure out. And why does this dude keep ducking in front of the mob? This guy does frontals. Like, you saw him absolutely murk the Runekeeper with one. Okay, shield is up. Ooh. Wait for these guys to get back. All right, so no good actual gear loot, but I got a jet out of it, so I ain't gonna complain about that. Because, yeah, the actual pieces of loot here were basically... Okay, this makes a lot of sense. This was the Runekeeper's first time doing above tier 1 in here. So, they just said it's their first time in... Well, they might have done tier 2. I think what they meant to say was their first time doing tier 3. And so that makes a lot of sense why he didn't seem fully sure of things like positioning and having disease cleanse potions and things like that. So that makes a lot of sense. He did just fine for being a relatively new healer in here, learning the ropes as I was just kind of cruising through things. Like, that was absolutely not like an oh god, what is he doing moment. It definitely, the last boss, he should not have been where he was, and that's why he died so early, but that's the kind of thing you learn doing these. Because you can do it that way in the earlier tiers. You can absolutely be up there in tier 1 and even tier 2 and not have to worry about it. So I'm just going to shoot him a quick chat and let him know about the safe spot so that when he heals this in the future, he knows he has a place to stand. There we go. Just wanted to let him know that when he does this again, he has an easier place where he can park himself on that fight. Because again, I have the feeling that, you know, being a healing runekeeper, he's gonna get asked to do these things. So I wanted to let him know that he did just fine for being, you know, first time in his T3. But, you know, I have a trick for you. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my red line build. That was awesome. He messaged me back and he said, you know, oh, I'll have to look for that. Which, again, I like it when you can actually do something where you're helping somebody with something that they might not have known and they don't like just get weird about it. Okay, back to my redline build, put my redline gear back on, untankify myself. And of course, because I'm an idiot, I did not update my tanking set to have my new tanking earrings. Oh well. And I have updated pants and boots. Oh yeah, when you get your mini up, we're gonna have a blast rolling through stuff like that. Okay, where's my sword? I have a sword here someplace? There we are. Offhand. All right, now I can go back to what I was doing, which is killing me some more undead. So what I was showing earlier, Cass, is that one of the things I'm doing, because again, tired as heck, did not get much sleep last night after the storms just kept rolling through till about 3, shaking everything. So I'm going through and just doing some of the deeding out here in King's Gondor, some of the Slayer deeds, so that I can pick up some more, basically levels and virtues that I'm not going to use, but I want to get the passive bonuses for. Like right now, I just started leveling Innocence, so even unslotted, it's giving me 6 max morale. But as I start leveling that up, it's just going to give me more and more, even when I don't have it slotted. So that's just kind of what I'm doing right now, is I'm going back and doing some Slayer deeds from zones that I just blitzed through when I was leveling. And obviously doing it with a Slayer accelerator on, which is definitely the way you want to do these if at all possible. On this character, basically what I did is I do the epic on all of the characters that I take through this zone and level to 150 so far, or at least most of the epic. I'm probably actually just going to straight up start skipping that at this point on my new ones. This character was a little bit weird because he was my first hour of release 150 because I prepped him. I wanted to see what I could do by basically just completing but not turning in a bunch of quests and stuff in a couple days leading up to the release. So that's why this character was level 150 like an hour or two after the release of Umbar went live and I logged in. I wanted to see if you how badly you could cheese that. So there we go, completed Dead Slayer. So what that gives me now is, because that it's not much right now, but it will get more as I level these up. That changed the passive from 6 morale to 8 morale. So basically I'm just chipping away at these to get the passive bonuses up. So then I took this character through all of the King's Gondor stuff, but I did it basically massively over leveled so that I could just kind of run through and only do hey, I want to see the story. But that meant that I didn't do Slayer deeds and side quests and stuff on this character in the normal leveling path. I did it on my later characters. But this guy basically just went through kind of straight stomping everything. Let's see. Determination is physical mastery. Morale. Okay, so next up I need insects, spiders, wolves. And as I recall, both insects and spiders can be down here, kind of in this area. But yeah, so I liked the epic storyline coming through this, like all of the return to King, the King's Gondor, returning through Gondor stuff. I liked it. I just felt like it went on way longer than it should have before we got through it into the Shield Isles and Umbar. That is one of the classes that I just absolutely, it never clicked for me. So I am in complete agreement there. There are classes that I've played and I put down and go, oh, it's fun, but I wouldn't main this class, you know? And there's ones that I put down because I will come back and learn this later. Then there's ones that it's not going to happen. You're not going to get me to like this class. And the Warden is absolutely one of those. Now, what I don't know where to find out here is a good true concentration of wolves. Like a big wolf pack or wolf den type thing. Oh, okay, that stable is actually unlocked, so I must have come through here at some point in time, or it could be an auto unlock. But I think in the hills around here, I should find a smattering of various beasties. But yeah, I played my mini for a bit the other day as well. I think he's 141 now, something like that. And man, red mini is just brutal. So I've made a few river hobbits. I don't think I've actually ended up playing any of them aside from I have a burglar that I made as a river hobbit and I valored him to 120, mostly just to see if that would get me to play burglar. You know? I think that's my only actual river hobbit character. I wanted to like River Hobbit a lot more than I did. The problem I have is that the River Hobbit guys all have a permanent crick in their neck because they're all looking up like this. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. They are incapable of looking straight ahead. They're all looking up. And it's really obnoxious. Okay, I should be able to find a good handful of these sickle flies, and yep, they still count. Awesome. So this will give me progress to the Insect Slayer deed, and if I remember right, there's a bunch of them as you start going into this marshy area here. Yeah, at some point in time, I'm going to have to make another River Hobbit on a character that I actually will play for a while. Like, I got to find a good class to combo them with. I'm just not sure what it is. I'm trying not to alt bounce as much as I have been so that I can keep working on really getting the champ and the runekeeper in good spots. Yeah, because I have the habit of just playing a bunch of characters. And that's led me to kind of having a bunch of characters that are pretty well geared and built out, but not like geared and built to the point where I really want to get them to. So I'm trying not to do that, at least right off the bat, which is why I've been spending so much time on the champ. Yeah, champ and mini is a good combo to have there because that gives you two classes that are good DPS, a good melee DPS and a good range DPS, as well as the mini having the ability to heal, and the champ, I mean, if you want, you could tank, or you could just build him into, one of a couple of different avenues for DPS. So you've got a lot of bases covered between those two classes. I'm just kind of not even going to go play with... Well, you know what? This is a kill 10 Corsairs. I think I'm going to go ahead and just detour in real quick. I looked at the objective and realized, oh, that's going to take no time. Yeah, I need to do a little bit more work on my Runekeeper. I was realizing the other day when I was going through and setting up LIs and things like that, that I had a lot of purple traceries on my LIs there still. They weren't even all teal. I had thought that they were in better shape. So I went and got at least that taken care of and got all the tracery slots leveled up. So I still only have a couple of gold traceries in my healing gear, but at least I'm not sporting purple still. Okay. Did I run out of insects, or are they all across the river here? There we go. Here's a couple. Oh, Cass, actually, speaking of traceries, let me get this killed real quick. This is something that you might want to look at. And I've been trying to gather this stuff up as much as possible. But these crafted heraldries here, so the crafted Umbari heraldries, you can get the heraldry, the Stalwart Ox. So that's might, vitality, and physical mastery, just like your normal, basic heraldry. But it's also part of the willpower Word of Craft set. So if you put one of these heraldry of the Stalwart Oxes in each of your LIs, it gives you not just the normal gold quality ox stats, but it also gives you, just from those two, the 2-piece for your 1.5% tactical mitigation bonus. So you can do that and run stuff like heroic precision in your other sets, or you could even run like heraldry of the Stalwart Ox, 2 of 4 heroic precision for the 3% crit bonus there, and then 2 of 4 grand armor in your other ally for your word of craft for the 3% physical mitigation if you're still working on getting that up. But it basically, the crafted heraldries like that let you get your 2%, 1.5% tactical mitigation, that 2-piece bonus, without having to get it from your word of crafts. So it gives you a free extra 2-piece bonus. And those come from, and you may or may not have gotten them, any of them yet, but that is Gundabad, Umbari. Think is this one? Yeah. So these Umbari craft or word of heraldry, these various selection boxes, they will periodically come out of things like the coffers of legendary items and stuff like that. See, the nice thing is the recipe that you take out of them, the boxes themselves are bound to account. But if I pull one of these, so, you know, don't pull them until you know which ones you want. But if you pull the recipe out, so for example, I think it's the Tailor one. No, which one is... Oh, sorry, these are word of craft. These are the stupid ones. That's why I was looking at the wrong one. Because I used all of my heraldries, I think. So Umbari, right now I just have... Oh, here we go. I do have one. So... let's see. Legendary Tracery that came out goes in there. So the box is bound to account. But when you pull the recipe out, the recipe, like, you know, the Umbari heraldry of healing or recovery, or I think Tailor is... Yeah, so the Tailor recipe is the one that does the Stalwart Ox. The recipe itself, like if I pull this out here, I have plenty of these boxes, so it doesn't hurt me to just pull one out. I will use this. So if I pull out the Umbari Heraldry of Willpower recipe, which is the tailoring one out of the box, this recipe itself is not bound to account. It is a single-use recipe, but I can hand this recipe either to one of my crafters, or I could even hand it to another crafter, and that person, as long as they have the ancient script, can craft that, and the heraldry you craft with it is also not bound to account. So the only part of that that's bound to account is the initial box itself to select which of the types you're going to pull. So if you've got some of those and you need somebody to do the crafting, you can always yell, because I typically have a lot of ancient script, or I can get my hands on it, so that ain't a problem. And you know, somebody can, as long as they have a steady stock of ancient script, can craft the things for you. We just have to know which ones you want, and, you know, obviously know ahead of time so we can make sure we have the ancient script saved up, because it's one of those recipes and 1,500 ancient script to craft. And of course, ideally, you're going to want somebody who can guarantee that they'll crit that and come out with a gold version. Yeah, just definitely look up and see and like make sure you know which one you're pulling out of the box, so you know, and which heraldry it is you want to get out of it. The Lotro wiki has a good breakdown of them. Yeah, if you've got one of the Umbari heraldry ones, then you would want to pull out the Umbari heraldry of willpower recipe. That's the Taylor recipe, because that's the one that turns into heraldry of the Stoutward Ox. But if you've got that, then again, you know, let me know. You know, ideally you're going to want to get 2 of them, but even getting 1, it's still a good heraldry to have and gets you part of that willpower set. Just let me know, and I will basically start pulling boxes so for my tracks so that I can restock my ancient script. I'm actually kind of proud. I am still I'm still back under 100 stashed boxes for this track. So I basically I more or less capped out my ancient script the other day, crafted those traceries for both of my champion ally sets and for my Runekeeper's healing. I did the healing willpower one and got a bunch of teal traceries for the Runekeeper as well. So I got the chance to actually pull and use a bunch of boxes the other day. Nice. Yeah, there's still over 2 weeks left. So once you pass the 100, which in this case is the legendary coffer for this portrait frame, basically you just, in anything over, you get these coffer of legendary items. And these are nice because basically you pull one out. So I just pulled out a coffer of legendary items, and that's basically, they look like these gift boxes, and they're just a random 1 or more legendary things. So in this case, this one gave me a purple sealed tracery, which I'm just going to pull out, and I will eventually melt that for the ancient script. Because basically a purple tracery is like 40 ancient script or something like that. But you can get traceries. This one gave me a teal tracery token, which I usually like better than the traceries because it lets me pick what I want. And this next one gave me a sealed tracery incomparable, which is actually kind of funny because I just pulled several of them and none of them gave me boxes of ancient script, which is the most common result. I said, game, it's the most common result. Seriously, you're just going to keep giving me traceries. I'm trying to prove a point here, game. Okay, there we go. The most common thing you get is stuff like this, which is the coffer of ancient script. There's also 2 better versions of the coffer of ancient script. So the regular ancient script gives you 50, and there's one that gives you like 100 and one that gives you 200 or something like that. So most of the time you're going to get basically one of these boxes off your reward track for the 100 plus. You're going to get 50 ancient script and possibly some other goodies. That's kind of their standard. So that is one of the best sources of ancient script to keep leveling your LIs over time, is the just the late boxes in the track. All right, now I've got to actually just open these boxes here, and I am completely lagged to crap. Okay, now back to killing insects. I also need to do something with steel tokens on this character, because I don't think those are going to last much longer before the vendor's not there anymore. Because those are really just during the anniversary festival. Yeah, during the anniversary event, you can turn them in and get some of those kind of crappy legendary boxes, but they're better than nothing. And afterwards, you can basically just turn them in for marks. And at this point in time, most of us are sitting on about 1 billion marks. Marks not really doing us a whole lot of good. So rather use the tracer, rather use the steel tokens for something that's actually at least potentially good. There we go. 3 of these guys. Nightcast, good to see you as always. Okay, coming close to getting all my insects. I need 30 more of these stupid flies. Then wolves and spiders are next on my list. We'll see what we can get there. Here, fly flat, there we go. It's always funny when you get the doubled fly model. It is only one fly. The animation is just broken. Okay, that puts me at 117 of 160. $119, $121. Just sort of make the rounds around this whole little area here. Because there's a lot of them around. And all these ones are gray, which means I can basically just chew straight through them. Of course, pretty much everything in this region is going to be green or gray. We're not doing challenging stuff here. Nice little concentration in this area here. 2 more up this way, then 1 back down there. This again is a place where a hard-hitting range character, especially a fast hard-hitting range character, has a distinct advantage for doing this kind of mob grinding like this. But by the same token, this character hits hard enough that I almost never have to stop moving. I just can't do it at a distance. Right, that brings me up to 147. Don't see any hanging around here, so I'm gonna... Oh, spoke too soon. Because here's 2. That's 149, 151. This will be 153. And I see 155 just past him. Ooh, nice little cluster of them hanging out here by the water. So here's 159, which means I just need 1 more of these buggers. fly. Not seeing any here, so I'm going to actually head through town here because there should be some on the other side of town. If I don't see any before, should be able to find at least one of them on my way down to Spiderville. Oh, here we go. Completed. Insect Layer of Western King's Gondor advanced. So, skipping through town here. Then on the road back down towards Ringlow Vale, I should be able to find a fair number of spiders in the woods off to the left, especially as I go a little bit further down. But then even further south, I should also be able to find at least a half decent concentration of wolves. So I'm going to want to take this road here. Yep. Basically, I am following the path that you, following kind of the path that you take. Or at least I have been following the path that you take when you're originally doing Gondor around level 100 and doing the path in reverse order from when you come back through and do King's Gondor. But now I am diverging from the Gondor part of it because in Gondor, you didn't come all the way down through here. So there will be a slight diversion. Here we go. There's a whole handful of spiders just kind of all hanging out in here. So this is a good spider source here. I wish I needed bears too, but unfortunately, nothing for them. This little area up here, there are quests that'll take you through as you're coming through this area. But for me, all this is really for is getting this Slayer deed done. And I don't know if the game is lagged or if that's a broken spider. Okay, that was just lag. There's not a ton of spiders here, but it is one of the only places with a true concentration of spiders. And it's still a pretty good circuit. I think I've just about cleared out this little spider fort. I think there might be one or two still lurking down here. Looks like not. So now, basically, follow these woods towards Ethring, and you'll be able to get not as good of a concentration of spiders as you can in the little camp there, but there's plenty to kill, and moving through these and getting all these spiders in your under your belt gives the ones in the ruins a chance to respawn. Bunch of bears that we don't need. But there's a random wandering Ringglow scout here, which will count toward the Orc Slayer deed. Don't know quite where he wandered here, but bad decision on his part, because he counts for Slayer deed. Means it was a bad day to be him. Right, so that's pretty solid. That gets me up to 54 spiders. Let's see, where's the... There we go. There's the Meta Slayer. Here's the Orc Slayer. I want to add that to my tracker just so I kind of know where I am. So unfortunately, this little kind of spur of woods here usually has more spiders in it. I think I just got unlucky and there's a bunch of bears right now. Yeah, because we're past Spiderville, really. Oh. Oh. Ask and you shall receive. Hello, spider. I'm not sure if the bears and spiders actually do share a spawn table out here, but it really does seem like they do. So, I'm just going to kill all these things on the off chance that some of them respawn as spiders next time they respawn. And make my way back to the spider ruins. Yeah, just really not great luck on having the random wandering spiders that there's usually a lot more of down here. But what can you do? Here, spider, spider. Haha. Gotcha. I'm going to finish clearing out any of the ones that I can find that are down here outside the fort, just to give the ruins up there the best chance to be fully restocked. And pick up any random wandering orcs I find too. Like this guy, all by his lonesome. Okay, that area is all the way outside of Spider Run. So back to Spider Fort for round 2. And we're getting some good respawns here. None. Up, there we go. One lurking all by its lonesome down here. I always wonder sometimes, people will randomly just X into LFF chat like somebody is putting together a group or advertising for something when there's not been any actual messages for a group being put together at all. Which kind of makes me wonder, is somebody just dropping an X in to see if somebody invites them to anything? Is it just like a purely hopeful X, an aspirational X? Okay, so that gets me 84 of 120 spiders. Got me up to 22 orcs as well, which is good. Got all of my bandits and dead, or corsairs and dead, I should say, out. So that was those 2 complete. And let's see, can I get any others? Here we go. Here's another spider. That does seem to be about the end. Oh, haha. Spider hide behind the rocks. Clever. And they're all, these guys here are a little close to town compared to where they usually stop spawning and wandering. But I will take it. Yeah, these guys are spawning all the way right up to the edge of town clearance here. Bad for the town, let's be honest, but I'm okay with it because it gave me a few extra spiders and gave me a little bit more time for those ruins to repop. Because I shouldn't even need technically the entire repop of the ruins to get the last of the spiders that I need. I just do need them to actually respawn fully. Okay, 10 more spiders. It's 9. That's 8. 7. Nice fast repops in here. 6. 5. You are number 4. And 3. So 2 more. These guys right here. One. Oh, come on. I thought that was 3. I really thought I saw an extra one there. I was apparently just seeing things. But our last victim is right down here. Okay, that is Spider Slayer Advanced done. So, got some good progress on doing deeds to just kind of help passively pick up little drips of stats here and there because every little bit helps. And did get one dungeon in, which we kind of cruised through, got somebody their first T3, which was awesome. And at this point, let's see who is up and doing stuff. I'll bet you the Poteen is probably on because it's Monday. Yep, let's go drop into Poteen's channel.